Let's do it. Let's get into the par 5.
So you're telling me this is a par 5?
Perfect.
That's my intro to
Butter.
par 5.
That's the
It's nice to have a professional broadcaster here. Just,
just
We'd
to
hope
make
you
the
could
only
if you could critique this at the end,
Yeah,
that would be
please.
really.
Problem. I would say I love the intro, but if you could add like music after it, it's like da-na-na-na,
You know, why didn't we
I like
think of
that. Yeah, that's great.
just more goddamn editing for me. Thanks, Gina.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Let's
God damn it.
throw a Dracula on the end of that. It's the par 5.
Da-na-na-na.
Yeah.
There you have the music. She just made it. Can we copyright that?
Yeah, just put it on a loop.
I feel you're perfectly situated to answer this question, just given the travels and the experiences on the show, but your favorite golf course?
Okay, this one was a pretty easy one for me to come up with because I went to St. George, Utah. Twice, actually, I got to go, but I covered the Red Rock Golf Trail, which is essentially a ton of, not a ton, like maybe 6 golf courses along southern Utah, right along the most brilliant red cliffs you can imagine, with the greenest grass, because they're pretty prestigious courses. And oh my gosh, like the views were just incredible. So my favorite one along that Red Rock Golf Trail was a place called Sand Hollow. And it's, oh my gosh, it's iconic. And we shot all day. It was like we were in the blistering hot sun. And then they're like, do you guys want to play? And we were already so exhausted and we're just like, yes. And we played a full 18 holes. We walked it,
Wow.
which was crazy. And
Was your golf cart license not international? Is that why you walked it?
Yeah, the US, not surprising. They're pretty not great about women having golf carts. So.
The Supreme Court just took that away this morning.
Oh, it's good to find a way to laugh about that.
It's not easy.
It's not. We found a way though. So look at us. Anyway, so this Sand Hollow in St. George, Utah, absolutely brilliant. And you're golfing along. Well, there are a number of different holes, like a huge variety of holes, but there are a few where you're right along the cliff. And there are these huge, because I come from the Rocky Mountains, right? I grew up in Alberta, so I really appreciate rocky landscape, I guess is the way. If it's not gonna be the Rocky Mountains, I love to see, you know, the huge boulders and the incredible cliffs and everything from a different place. So that was my favorite.
This is we won't leave this in, but I wanted to show the guys this because I was actually watching your video here. Can you see that?
Yeah. So ugly.
That's Sand Hollow. And that was a tee shot that I didn't make. So
Oh wow, that's cool.
you have to hit and you could drop right off the cliff if you're too far to the left. And my swing probably wasn't as good back then.
It's still pretty smooth.
Swing, yeah. That's not
Pretty
bad swing.
Yeah, and then
Wait,
that's
That's the same course?
no.
Is
This
there an ocean in Utah now?
Oh, you didn't know?
Well, I tell you, I'm I'm also from near the Scarborough Bluffs, so I also enjoy a cliff, and that's pretty beautiful.
Yes, it's gorgeous. I mean, the colors were unbelievable. You know, when you just go, I mean, I'm such a landscape nerd. I could talk about different landscapes for forever. I don't know why, but I loved the natural, brilliant orangey red. I thought that was so crazy that nature could produce such a color. But as we know, nature can produce many colors.
Is there a moment while you were there that you're just like, Jesus Christ, I'm getting paid to be here. This is insane.
All the time at ScoreGolf. Even some of the courses we were at in Ontario were just mind-blowing. And then, you know, you're golfing with maybe we interview the head pro, right? They'll tell us about the golf course, their favorite holes, the design, maybe we'll interview the designer. And then they'd be like, great, so we're gonna head up to the patio and we can all have lunch. And it's just like, oh, wow. And then we just sit out on this beautiful patio and get to overlook this gorgeous course. And it was truly the most privileged I've ever felt, for sure, in anything I've done in broadcasting so far.
That is an awesome job. Yeah, doing something like that. I mean, I used to work in an office one time, and I seriously thought about hiding in the drop ceiling. So imagine you're at a beautiful course having lunch. That is the way to do it.
Monty just hiding in the drop ceiling, having his lunch.
Yeah.
I can picture it. I can see it.
Keep the boss off your ass. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He's in the building. We can't get him out, really. He's in there.
He's stuck. He's there now.
Yeah, he's in the ceiling.
I can't believe it. I'm in a drop ceiling. What a life. Monty's got.
Monty in a drop ceiling. Oh my God.
Future Juno nominated comedian in a drop ceiling in an insurance company.
Yeah, it's like, no, I think he's hiding. I don't know. He's hiding. He likes it in there. I think he brought some files in there, actually.
He's underwriting as we speak. Okay, Gina, question number 2. You can put together your ideal foursome with the caveat no PGA or LPGA players, and it could be anyone alive or dead. Who is rounding out your foursome?
Okay, this was the toughest question for me to figure out, because at first I was like, the parameters are so huge, right? I was like, okay, even if they don't play golf, I was like, David Bowie, like just like people that I just.
We've heard Mother Teresa, but for some reason David Bowie's even stranger for me. I don't know why.
Right?
Ziggy Stardust on the first tee.
Those platform shoes, it would just be amazing.
It would seriously be amazing. And his whole perspective on golf, like, what would that be about? Like, who knows? He's making like some crazy predictions about the future. I can't picture it. And so for that reason, I was very entertained. But also just because I was like, who would I want to spend 4 hours with? Right?
Totally.
Okay, but my answer is going to be, and I don't mean to promote another podcast on your podcast, and for that reason, I am sorry, but one of my favorite podcasts right now is Smartless, and it's hosted by Will Arnett, Sean Hayes, and Jason Bateman.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say Joe Rogan, and then I'm like, where are we going now?
Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, and no, I listen to Smartless too. It's fantastic, actually. It's really good.
It's so good, right? And then they often talk about golf because Will Arnett, Jason Bateman are avid golfers. And so I was thinking for comedians and, us in the entertainment industry, I'm like, who would I enjoy golfing with the most? Get a lot out of it, probably in terms of like chatting about the industry and getting their insight and advice, but also just having the best time. So I would choose them, and then I would probably choose a female comedian that I really admire. So either Julia Louis-Dreyfus, maybe Tina Fey, or Amy Schumer. I'd choose one of them to just round out that.
Also, don't feel the need to apologize of promoting. They're not getting a bump in listeners from this podcast.
Yeah.
There's no, they're fine.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking about just starting to listen to it right now while we finish this.
Just like have one earbud in. It's like what's going on.
I'm going the other right. I've publicly accused them of siphoning our listeners.
Yeah, you really should. Really.
So you want who? Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and then one of the 3 who are on a wait list now to get into this foursome.
Yeah, no, I think I would say Julia Louis-Dreyfus because she is just my favorite of all time. So I'd choose her as well. Because basically, I just want to. Golf is all about who do you want to hang out with for 4 hours, right? And so a lot of comedians. I mean, it's really awesome to meet you guys, and I know only a few others comedians that enjoy golf and play golf regularly. And I think because it's a bit inaccessible, or people think it is, they don't want to spend the money. And let's be honest, Canadian comedy is like Canadian broadcasting. It's a little cheap, right?
Yes.
So the ability to play with comedians, just the best. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, I play with these 2 a lot. It's okay.
Right? Yeah.
It's a lot more arguing who's going to pay for the drinks and whatnot. It gets awkward.
I'm trying to increase my maniacal laughter, and I'm going to turn up the excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the best non-human golfer alive. Okay, Gina, on a hot, I don't know if you do drink on the golf course, but on a hot summer day, you're at the 8th hole. What are you ordering from the bar cart?
Okay, I do drink on the golf course. I can have like max 2 before my game starts going so downhill and out of control. So, and I like to go for a light, easy drinking beer. And often I reach for the Coors Light or the Bud Light. I just want something easy. I don't want the hoppiness. I just like getting those kind of trashy beers. It brings me joy.
One at a time?
Yeah, generally.
Oh, I don't know.
She's got a helmet on with 2 beers.
That would be amazing. You could only handle 2 beers, but you drink them at the same time. Just pound them back and be like, all right, that's enough.
That's how she got it in the hand. She was actually putting a new beer into her beer holder.
It's like, oh, maybe that's why I can't golf after. Oh.
Too fast, eh? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
So that's it. You cut yourself off after the second beer?
Yeah, well, while I'm playing, yeah, I often do. And I'll have like a water. It's good to stay hydrated. So lame to say, but so true, you know? And then I'm not so desperate feeling after the round and I feel like I'm going to die because I'm dehydrated, which happens often. So
you're allowed to drink water and beer at the same time.
At the same,
yeah.
with the same set.
No, well, you can have, there's always 2 cup holders for every seat in a golf cart. One for a beer, one for a water, I always assumed.
She's only got 2 hands, Darryl. Leave her be.
There's a lot to take in, Darryl.
These are the kind of golf tips I like to give.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I like it.
Question number 4 is about sort of emotions on the golf course. And we've already sort of heard that you've got pretty good emotional like approach to golf. What's either the angriest that you've ever seen someone on the golf course, or if you haven't seen someone angry, how do you stop from losing it when things go wrong?
Yeah, like when I get frustrated on the golf course, it turns into this really, like you said, maniacal, but it's a little like I get really what's the word? Like I start making fun of myself absolutely ruthlessly. And it's embarrassing, right? And like as comedians, you know, you're like, oh yeah, I'll just say jokes over and over and that's how I'll deal with this. And so I'll just start being really loud about how terrible I am. And that is embarrassing behavior and also hard to like kind of pull yourself back and just be like, shut up, Gina. Right. So I've like had a few moments like that. Absolutely. It's not like I can keep it cool. But
can you give an example of something you've said?
Oh my gosh. This one time I was golfing with, okay. So let me set it up as like at ScoreGolf, you're not just golfing with the people that you work with or the pros at the golf course. Sometimes I would get invited to these events where I was literally in a foursome with Doug Carrick, the designer of the Osprey Valley course.
Oh my God.
And so I was playing with Jason Logan, Doug Carrick, and oh gosh, I forget who else. And then the heads of TSN were there. There was some Olympians there that day. Like we're talking like a crowd that, I mean, for all intents and purposes, like I do not belong, you know, like I should not be here, but I have to get myself into that mental game of like, no, you deserve to be here. But golfing with the designer, holy. So I kept making this joke every time I messed something up. So say like I hit it off, like I hit a really bad drive and then it hit a tree. And so the first time I made this joke, I was like, who put that tree there? Right.
Good one.
And so,
classic.
Yeah, right. Because you know, the designer is right there. And then he's like, the first time he's just like, and then we go to the second hole. And then I'm just like, who put that waterfall in the middle of the fairway? Who does? Why would you put this bunker here? Oh my gosh, this is a real, like, I started just going off because I didn't know how to reel it in.
And I just think it just kept getting worse and worse. How fucking small is your dick that you'd put a fucking tree here?
What are you compensating for?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty obvious you can't satisfy your wife, and you can't even satisfy this hole.
Like, legit. It was so, and he's such a nice man. Like, and he was funny and super gracious with just me saying that same joke in different ways for all 18 holes. And I did not play well. I also didn't putt well. And I remember at the end of the day, that one of the people who saw me putting decided to come up in the middle of the dinner and be like, "Hey, Gina," and this is like a journalist event. He's like, "Hey, Gina, let me just quickly give you a putter lesson." And
during dinner.
During dinner. And the guys that I work with were just like their jaws dropped because and I think it is a sexist thing, but like these situations would happen to me all the time where just the men could not hold back from giving me all the advice. And I actually don't mind when people give me advice. I'm like, of course, you're the designer of the course. Why would I not listen to you? But when a random comes up to me and is just like, "So Gina, when you're putting, everybody just stop. I'm just going to give Gina a lesson that she needs." I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I would just like to publicly apologize for the water and beer comment earlier. I don't know why I was giving you tips. I feel terrible.
Darryl, how do I do it? And how do I hold something? I don't quite, I can't wrap my head around it.
That's the beauty of a golf cart. It holds it for you.
Okay, I'll try to remember that next time. Thank you, Darryl. Thank you, Darryl.
I don't care how you putt. Couldn't give a fuck about that.
No,
but just, keep that water handy.
Gina, you've got the style of my buddy Rob. We used to play poker back in the day, and he would relentlessly like self-bad talk himself, like in his hands. He's like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. I don't know what I'm doing." Just look at, and I was like, "Rob, it's distracting. Your constant bad mouthing yourself is distracting to me. I'm trying." It's like, "I don't know why I'm so stupid. Oh God, I'm so stupid."
Right?
Yeah. I was like
gets like really wrapped up. You're like, "Did everyone see how bad that just was?" And everyone's like, no, shut up. He's trying to tee off. Shut up.
Oh my God, that was ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, is this some sort of advanced betting strategy he's using on me? Like, I'm like, I can't believe I'm so stupid that I've done this for.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Gina's out there shooting a 76 while she's doing this.
Just bad mouthing herself.
No. Oh God, no. I'm excited to just get under 100. That's what I want. I want rounds under 100 this year. That's so I'm not a great scoring golfer by any means.
Well, they say 100. A lot of people, a low percentage of golfers break 100. Apparently.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know the number, but it's like a shockingly high number. Don't.
Yeah, and I think I believe that because the more people I play with and the different types of people, I'm like, oh, there's not that many people who can score real well in golf.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently not. And then if you add the squirrels,
all bets are off. The stats way out of line.
Move yourself way up in the echelon of things.
Okay, question number 5, the last question. Your favorite golf moment, either personally or on TV, or I guess it could be both for you because you've been on TV talking about golf. So what's your favorite golf moment?
Oh my gosh, this was tough too because again, that job was just so incredible. And I really enjoyed interviewing players. That was really fun. And I also learned that working in sports just means sports are emotional, right? Like yes, you can talk about someone's game or the stats or whatever, the technicalities of golf, but that's not really what I was there for at ScoreGolf because I wasn't that type of person. And so I had some really great discussions with some good golfers. And oh my gosh, one time I was talking to Lori Kane, who is a legendary Canadian golfer. And the LPGA had just come down with these really draconian rules about what women could wear on the golf course. And while
I remember this.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I totally do.
I want to say it was like 2018, maybe, something around there. And so one of the rules, as an example, was that, like, because I don't remember all of them and I don't want to get misquoted, but it was something about the deepness of the neckline. So it had to be a certain length, which is so weird when you think about different people's bodies. Like it becomes irrelevant, right? For a woman with double D breasts, that's going to look awfully different than a woman with not much. Also, people have different lengths of torsos. I mean, there's just like all these hilarious, very real reasons why that rule is dumb. And so I just happened to be, I think it was at a, I don't remember the exact event, but it was an LPGA event. So I was like, oh, this is a great time. I'm going to ask Lori Kane, who has been through everything in golf. I mean, she's been there from the beginning of when women were even allowed to compete, basically. And so we were laughing at this rule, and all my ScoreGolf guys, like there's the producer, and then there's the guy filming it, and then there was another producer there, and we were recording. And then we just kept talking like, well, what's the equivalent for men? And we start going like, well, what if, okay, some men wear like real tight pants. What if we start measuring the bulge in their pants? What if we start just going, there needs to be this much material on either side, and when they sit, it has to be a certain, we just start going off. And oh my gosh, the guys that I worked with were just like, are we still rolling? Like, what is happening? And Lori Kane was laughing so hard. And then I saw her years later, and she just goes, remember the bulge? And I was like, the bulge. Just nice to have those moments with golfers who are often so, because it's such like the events are so sponsored, and they're often scared to say the wrong thing, and very kind of zipped up in their personalities. I mean, it's a little bit different in the last few years, but it was really nice to kind of crack them and get them talking about other things.
If we can stay on this, I would like to see some kind of rule where men with really big bellies and very flat asses put some kind of padding in the back, because I find it very distracting to watch them play when they're like really fat and with no bum, and I'm like, I'm terrified that's what I look like, first of all, and then that's all I can think about for the whole time.
Like, how do they not fall over? It's all like very front bearing weight. Yeah.
I know. I spend a lot of time looking at those guys, wondering what. Yeah, I shouldn't say I'm looking at them, but you know what I mean.
I was gonna say, very distracting.
I think you are. It's like,
well, I've been playing golf since like 1985 or something, and that's something right off the bat. I'm like, I don't even understand what that body is. I don't.
Well, I've been looking at guys' asses since the early.
We have that in common. We have that.
That's the real reason he in the ceiling just wants to check out guys' asses.
Like, I don't.
It's so funny now though, because more and more professional golfers are so fit. Have you guys noticed this over the last like 6 years?
I mean, we've noticed it. Darryl's really noticed it.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand their pants. That's the thing. I don't have to watch, because I understand there's reasons the pants stay there. Yeah.
You can relax to watch now.
Yeah, they're in great shape, and like all we got left is like dart players, I think.
Yeah. Curlers are in great shape now. Like, it's just everybody. This is
so weird.
Right.
Keep in mind that tree on the left side of the fairway, and something distracted him.
All right.